The world knows him as an authoritarian leader. World leaders are convinced democracy has been dismantled in Hong Kong. The Communist Party faces no challenge. China will remain a one-party state for the foreseeable future, but Xi Jinping does not like this description. So he has come up with a new way to describe China. You won't believe this. Xi Jinping says China is a democracy. And the Chinese president has conducted a poll, he says, to prove that. What is all this about? Our next report tells you about China's latest farce.
The Chinese state loves to spin a lot of stories, but this one was the mother of all spins. 5 years back, China called itself a democracy, one that believes in the rule of law. It didn't stop there. Last year, Beijing published a white paper. It declared that China was a democracy that works. This year, Xi Jinping is taking this narrative a step further. Last Sunday, the Chinese president made an announcement. He claimed Beijing conducted a poll among millions of Chinese citizens. What for? Xi Jinping said the aim was to gather people's thoughts about China's future leadership. What the senior leadership should look like. The Chinese president has even coined a term for this initiative. He is calling it a whole process democracy. Xi Jinping's claims are just a facade. There were no elections in China. What the Chinese president is talking about was an online poll, and that's not the same as an election. The Communist Party ran this poll on several platforms recently. How many Chinese citizens participated in it? Just over 8 million out of a population of 1.4 billion. No one knows the identities of these voters. The exercise was actually a publicity stunt. Later this year, all members of the Communist Party will gather in Beijing. They'll participate in the party congress. It happens every 5 years. During the event, Communist Party leaders vote to pick the new Chinese leadership. But there is hardly anything democratic about these elections. The polls are managed. Votes are fixed before the election. Just look at how the last 2 elections panned out for Xi Jinping. He was elected president for the first time in 2013. 2,952 votes were cast in Xi Jinping's favor. 3 members abstained, and just 1 dared to oppose Xi Jinping. The next election in 2018 was a clean sweep. All 2,970 votes were cast in favor of Xi Jinping. Many expect this year's election to be no different. Xi Jinping is guaranteed a historic 3rd term as China's president. But he is expected to pick a different team. With no obvious challenges in sight, the election is expected to serve as a reminder. Xi Jinping still reigns supreme in China.
WION is now available in your country. Download the app now and get all the news on the move.